Okay, so in this video, I'm just going to show you about the final part that we are going to do, where we are going to save our product. Okay, and we need to actually save 3 versions of our file. Okay, we're going to save the PSD versions, which are the editable photop files. Okay, we're going to save our print version. Okay, so this is the one that has the front cover and the back cover in it. Okay, and we're going to save that out as a TIFF file. Okay, so a TIFF file is a high quality image file that uses little compression. Okay, it has a massive file size and it's not suitable for using online because the file size is so large. For the online version, which is just the front cover that's cropped, okay, that's 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels, we're going to use JPEG. We're going to save it as a lower quality image file. So JPEG, it's a low quality image file that's been heavily compressed. It has a small file size, okay, which means because it's got a small file size, it's suitable for using online. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create 4 separate files for our travel guide. So I'm just going to open up my original file first. And just let it open up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to save a high quality version of the PSD file. So to do that, I'm going to go File, Save as PSD. Okay, because we want it to save the editable one, and we're going to call this one HQ, which stands for High Quality Version. Okay, so we're going to save it. Can we stop talking, please? We're going to save it as the high quality version, so the PSD file. I'm going to save it. Right, Jensen, I'm not going to ask again. Thank you. So once we've saved it as a PSD file, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to save it as our TIFF file. And just make sure this is the one that has the front cover and the back cover, and it should be size 2. Okay. 370mm by 180, and the resolution should be 300 dots per inch. So to do that, we are going to go to File, we're going to go to Export As, and we're going to export it as a TIFF. So you need to go down to More, then you need to go to TIFF. Okay, let it do its thing. Make sure you're saving it as high quality version on the TIFF file. Click Save. Let it do its thing. Okay, let's just save our TIFF file. Let it download. Okay, so it's downloaded there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to save a second version of the PSD file. Now this is going to be our low quality version. And the reason we do this is if we make any mistakes or we edit or mess up anything that we do here, we can go back to it and we don't lose all of our work. So I'm going to save this PSD file as our low quality version or LQ version. I'm going to click Save. Let it download. So the reason the files are already there is because this is the second time I'm doing the video. So wait for the white bar to disappear. Remember, you don't want to shut Photop down when this white bar is in view, because otherwise you will lose all of your work. So once the white bar is gone, you can then go to the rectangle marquee tool, or the rectangle select tool as it's called in Photop. Using your guides, select over the front cover. You're then going to go to Image. You're going to go to Crop. You're then going to go to Image. You're then going to go to Image Size. You're then going to set the resolution to 72. It's really important that you set the resolution first before the size, as when you set it to 72, it is going to go tiny. We're changing from millimeters into pixels, and we want it to be, and because our numbers don't match, because I haven't got my grids exactly right here, I'm just going to turn the chain off, Okay, and I'm going to make it 1080, and I'm just going to sorry, turn the chain off. I turned it on there. Okay, so 1080 by 1080, and I'm going to click OK. Okay, so we'll just check it to make sure it is the right size. So I'm going to go image size. So we've got 72 dots per inch, 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels. So we're going to save it as a JPEG. So I'm going to go File, Export as JPEG. Make sure we've called it Low Quality Guide, which it is. Click Save. Okay, so we're going to save it. And then, if I go into my folder now, okay, so if I go into my folder, so here we can see all of our completed files. So we've got our PSD for our version, our editable high quality version. We've got our low quality PSD, which is just our front cover that's been cropped. We've also got our TIFF file, and if I just open up the properties, okay, we'll just have this here. And then if I just open up the JPEG, we'll put the properties next to each other so we can see. Okay, so you can see the file size of the TIFF is about almost 13 megabytes. The size of the JPEG is only 120 kilobytes, which is a massive size difference. Okay, so we'd use this for online. We'd use this version if we're going to send it to the printer, because this hasn't been compressed. Okay, because when we compress something, we actually take bits out of it. So because this file hasn't had any bits removed from it, when we print it out, we'll get a more high quality image, and it will look better when we're using that higher resolution of 300 dots per inch. Okay, so I'll leave this up on your screen. So you can pause this now. Okay, I'll even put it up in full screen if I can. There you go, so you can pause this now, so you can have this information on you, which gives you a little bit of an overview of the TIFF and the JPEG file. And I also recommend watching the video, the Know It All Ninja video that's on Teams, which talks about image file formats, that goes about into more detail about TIFF files and JPEGs. Remember, you're only interested in the file types that you've picked, which are TIFF and JPEG.